is so amazing to see so many of your faces and so many people that I love in this room. I want to say thank you to my queen. She's sitting here this morning, my mama. Y'all know her as Imogene White. I want to say thank you to my king. He's sitting here this morning. Come on, King. Timothy Janak. And one of my princes, Mr. Houston Ivory.
Houston.
Janak. And my friends who are here, I'm so glad to see your faces. It's an exciting day for me. It's the first Sunday of Black History Month, y'all. 2019. That's right. I thought I might put a little African stuff on today.
Oh, all right.
And a little Black Lives Matter, you know. Just a little bit, just a little bit. I want to say thank you to my ancestors who are here with me this morning. Those who guide me, those who protect me, those who speak to me. A very special thanks to one in particular who showed up for me last night as I was preparing and thinking and praying and meditating on what I really wanted to say today. And so, this is just a little bit for Big Daddy. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. That was just a little bit for Big Daddy. My Big Daddy used to sing that song, and he had a very rich baritone. Of course, I cannot get that low, but
you're getting on down there.
Yes, yes, yes.
You're getting on down there.
I did a little bit. I had to go a little bit low for Big Daddy. This collar won't let me go too low, but you know. For those of you who are here in the seats this morning in the pews, and those who are listening by the internet, I want to draw your attention to this familiar passage of scripture for some. The title of my message, I know many of you have seen that, is called What If? But the passage of scripture that I want to use as a text today is Luke, the 7th chapter, 19th through the 23rd verse, and I'm reading from the Message Bible, and it reads accordingly. John's disciples reported back to him the news of all these events taking place. He sent two of them to the master to ask the question, are you the one we've been expecting, or are we still waiting? The men showed up before Jesus and said, John the Baptizer sent us to ask you, are you the one we've been expecting, or are we still waiting? In the next 2 or 3 hours, Jesus healed many from diseases, distress, and evil spirits. To many of the blind, he gave the gift of sight. Then he gave his answer. Since you're looking for me, go back and tell this. Go back and tell John what you have just seen and heard. The blind see, the lame walk, lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, the wretched of the earth have God's salvation hospitality extended to them. Is that what you were expecting? Then count yourselves fortunate. Thus is the ending of that word. I'm standing on the shoulders of my ancestors, those who are in the non-physical world and those who are here in the physical world. None of us are here by accident. It is providential. It is destiny. It is by design. What many of us have failed to realize is that we are here to complete the work that many of our ancestors began. We are living in our greatest day. Somebody just said, "What is wrong with you? Do you know what's happening in this country? Do you know what's happening in this world?" Well, I want to ask you, do you know what's happening in this room? I am standing in what was a predominantly white church, preaching this morning as a black woman. We have come through 8 years of the first Afro-amazing president. I'm sitting on the chancel with Reverend Gerald Davis and Reverend Barbara Prose inside of this church in a predominantly white neighborhood. Do not tell me that we are not living in our greatest day. Now, do we have a lot of ish happening? Absolutely. Absolutely. But just what if you're the seed and those who are waiting on you are your harvest, and those that they touch with what they receive from you are your harvest? A farmer never goes out to plant believing that what they've planted won't come up at harvest time. What if you're the one? What if we stopped being confused and angry about the state of our union? Can I tell you a truth? I don't need you to say yes, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I want to tell you a truth. It was confusion that opened the door for a DT to slip through. We couldn't decide who was a criminal. We couldn't decide who was worthy of the seat. We couldn't come to agreement as a collective, and we elected someone who's strategic, slippery, narcissistic, but clear in his endeavors to bend this country to his will or to his master's will. Oh, I'm in the house right now. What if we used our judgment to discern how we could overhaul or dismantle altogether our educational system in this country? It is a travesty. It is a travesty that our children go to school and are being taught not by all, so don't run and tell that story, not by all, but by some who don't give, about them. It's a travesty. It's a travesty that this state in which we live in came in number 48th. We got C's and D minuses in our educational system. What are we doing? What if we held these national offices of these predominantly white sororities and fraternities accountable and started kicking them off campuses at the same rate that we do the Divine Nine? Oh, I'm doing my good preaching right now. It's not words that transform. It's experiences that do that. If these sororities and fraternities knew that their $1 million sorority house or fraternity house was going to be sitting on the campus empty. We just might see some real movement around deciding if plantation dances and blackface were pertinent to the continuation of their mission. We can't just keep throwing words at it. We can't just keep talking about it.
That's right. Consequences.
Thank you, Reverend Gerald. Some consequences, some real ones. Because sometimes what happens is unless we hit the pocketbook, people don't change. What if we stopped asking people of color to do the heavy lifting and called one another in by naming when racist remarks are being made and refrain from attempting to make people of color wrong for speaking up for ourselves? I'm talking about what if. What if, as a collective consciousness, we chose to no longer borrow beliefs and stop speaking the master's language? Let me tell you what the master's language sounds like. Why y'all still talking about that? In fact, why you still talking? And I'm going to tell you that the master's language is not just spoken by people who are white. Because the master's language began to be interpreted by people who look like me. And then they were used to go out in the plantation, speak the master's language, and whip the folks who look like them. Y'all might never invite me to be in this pulpit again. But I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. What if we allowed our courage to rise when our fears want to keep us in places of comfortability? I want to read this quote from Maya Angelou. Sis was on point. She had me crying over there in my seat. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is one of the very first poems of Maya's that I read. And I became a fan and a student from there on. Let me find it. Jesus, help me. I had it. Anyway, here we go. You, the Ashanti, the Yoruba, the Kru, bought, sold, stolen, arriving on the nightmare, praying for a dream. Here, root yourselves beside me. It cannot, history, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but if faced with courage, need not be lived again. This was from an excerpt from On the Pulse of the Morning, delivered at the inauguration of Bill Clinton in 1993. We cannot do this work in a place of comfortability. What if we stepped into the pool of deliverance, the pool of transformation, the pool of healing? That's the only way that the lame will be able to walk. That's the only way that those who have turned a deaf ear will be able to hear again. What if you're the Harriet Tubman? What if you're the next King? What if you're the next John Wolfe? What if you're the next Coretta Scott King? What if? You do know that one of my favorite movies is getting a lot of buzz, and it's probably gonna win an Oscar. Black Panther. How many? That's my girl, come on now. What you know about it? But I wanna bring something to the forefront. that the king, T'Challa, at the beginning of the movie is not the same king at the end of the movie when he is talking to the UN. See, we got to come outside of this bubble that we call All Souls. Oh, yeah. Oh, crickets now. Okay. Okay, I see you. Yeah, we got to come out of this bubble because our work, I said this last week and I meant what I said, is that when we're inside of this bubble, and before folks who look like me showed up in here, we had a thing called All Souls. It was still named All Souls, right? But it wasn't until all the souls start coming that we start getting shaky in our boots, that we start feeling a little bit funny about who was sitting next to us in the seat. Because it was cute to call this place All Souls when the souls lived over there. It was cute to be all souls when we went to the All Souls, but not when they all came up in here. You know, the gay souls, the trans souls, you know, the black souls, you know, the Indian souls. I'm talking about the folks from India. I'm not, you know, Native American souls, the Latino, Latinx, all the souls. And so people start feeling a little bit funny. Their stomachs start getting a little jumpy. Like mine was this morning. I call it championship stomach. My girl Risha, she knows about it. She played ball. If you've ever played a sport, there's a championship stomach that you get when you know you're about to go in. And you just have to lean into it. My son asked me this morning, he said, "Are you nervous?" I said, "No, I would be nervous if I didn't have my championship stomach. I would be really afraid. But I know I'm on point this morning." We may have to say like Miss Seeley in The Color Purple, "I may be black, Reverend Gerald. I may be a woman. I may even be ugly." Now, that's not my truth. But I'm still here. If you're still here, baby, you on assignment. You got to know that they've been expecting you. They've been waiting on you. They've been looking for you. And some of those folks have sent some spies out asking questions while you were busy doing your work. Because when they came looking for Jesus, Jesus was not sitting down being lazy talking about it. He was doing his work when they showed up. And some people are still asking the question, are you the one? Or shall we look for another? Are you the one that we've been expecting? Are you the one that we've been waiting on? Or shall we look for another? When it looks like the work is dying, hold on. When it looks like it's not coming fast enough, Reverend Marlon, hold on. When it looks like they're not hearing it, hold on. Isaiah picked it up. This is old school right here. Isaiah picked it up and said, God doesn't come and go. God lasts. He's the creator of all you can see or imagine. He doesn't get tired out, doesn't pause to catch his breath. He knows everything inside and out. He energizes those who get tired. He gives fresh strength to dropouts. Anybody ever felt like dropping out of your dream? Anybody ever felt like dropping out of your vision? The scripture text says, God gives fresh strength to those dropouts, even when you feel like you want to drop out. For even young people are tired and they drop out. Young folk in their prime stumble and fall, but those that wait upon the Lord get fresh strength. They spread their wings and soar like eagles. They run and they don't get tired. They walk and they don't lag behind. I'm just trying to find out this morning, is there anybody? Listen, I got to take this off because this here voice, I can't play with that. Because I'm doing my good preaching right here. Is there anybody in this room who understands that it's you that we've been waiting on? Does anybody understand? Even if you don't understand it, but there's some rumbling inside of your soul that you cannot quiet. There's some rumbling inside your mind that you cannot quiet. There's some rumbling inside of your spirit and inside of your heart. Sometimes you can't sleep because that vision is pressing on you. That word that you must say is pressing on you. That timing, that Kairos timing is upon you. It is the perfect and divinely appointed time is upon you. My girl Kelly is sitting here. You can't wait to do this vision. It's got to happen right now. Why? Because there's a world that's waiting on you. This church cannot do stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. We got to stay the course. Why? Because there's a world that's waiting on us. There's a world. Timmy is here. There's a world that's waiting on us. When mainline and old school religions open up a space for a Timmy, when in her church, the men sit on one side and the women sit on the other, and they've never had a woman to be the head of that church, to be the lead minister in years. And she steps up to the plate, hitting it out the park, day one. Hitting it out the park to the point that those folks who were protesting against her had to say, I got to get back, I got to get back, I got to get back, because something new is coming. Something powerful is coming. We've got to make room inside of this church for the new thing. We've got to make room inside of this church for folks who don't think, act, feel, nor believe like us. We've got to make room inside of our hearts for a different conversation. We've got to make room inside of our minds and get rid of that borrowed thinking. Because some of us have some borrowed beliefs that no longer serve us, but because your mama and them told you, your mama and daddy and them told you, you holding on to it. It's borrowed. The last thing that I'm going to say, the inspiration for this message today. Sorry, Reverend David, I broke protocol because it's ecclesiastical and all of that kind of stuff, but I broke protocol. But there's my inspiration for this message today is a song by India Irie called What If? Here are the lyrics. What if Martin didn't stand up? What if Rosa didn't sit down? What if Malcolm didn't man up? Where would we be now? What if Marley didn't get up, stand up? What if Du Bois didn't come to advance us and Mandela didn't come to teach us? Where would we be now? We are the ones we've been waiting for. We can change the world. We can change the world with our love. Love, 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 because it's up to us. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We can change the world. Our love can change the world. We can change the world with our love. What if Maya didn't speak out? What if Langston Hughes didn't write it down? What if Josephine Baker didn't dance it out? What if, tell me, where would we be now? What if Sojourner never told the truth? Or Ida B. Wells never printed the news? Harriet never went underground? Where would we be now? We are the ones we've been waiting for. We can change the world. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We can change the world. Our love can change the world. Me too. I matter. You matter. We matter. Together we are love. It's got to be all of us to stand up and speak out with all of our love, because it's up to us. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. Oprah, Kamala, Ava, Tarana, and Lena, Serena, Viola, Opal, Patrice, and Alicia. You and me are the chosen right now in this moment. What if? It's not my ego of why I'm standing. I'm scanning the room and taking it all in. Because my grandmother's never got a standing ovation.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Take it in.
My big daddy never got a standing ovation. So, it is with deep, deep gratitude that I say thank you. On behalf of the Wilsons, on behalf of the McKinneys, on behalf of the Walkers and the Niases and the Hartfields and the Whites and the Richies, thank you. Thank you.
There's no foe that can defeat us when we're walking side by side. As long as there is love, we will stand. Take someone's hand if you can, would you? Oh, you're my brother, you're my sister, so take me by the hand. Together we will work until we're done. There's no foe that can defeat us when we're walking side by side. As long as there is love, we will stand. As long as there is love, we will stand. As long as there is love, we will stand.
So happy you're visiting with us online today. We love connecting with people all across the country and around the world, sharing our powerful message of love beyond belief.
There's something new happening here. You can now join All Souls as a virtual member. Our virtual membership is designed for friends who live outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and who want to engage with All Souls in a meaningful way.
You can be part of an expanding family, a global family really, wherever you are. If you live in Oklahoma,
Ohio,
or Orange County, California,
Canada,
or Cameroon. By becoming a virtual member, you'll be able to deepen your connections with members and friends here in Tulsa and with members wherever you are.
Each week, you'll receive special All Souls content tailored for you, our virtual members. Virtual members have access to pastoral care, to personal prayers, and also receive invitations to exclusive web events.
You can learn more, and if you're ready, you can become a virtual member today by visiting allsoulschurch.org/virtual membership.
We're grateful our ministries are having a positive impact on your life, and we want to share the good news of love beyond belief with more and more people. So no matter what, we need your support to keep this ministry growing and thriving, so please consider making a gift today. You can do so by texting
Love BB for Love Beyond Belief to 73256, or simply visit our website. You are a blessing in our lives. May you be blessed
and be a blessing.